This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, Loco sports fans, welcome to another edition of the LowcoSports Lowdown. I can't believe it's already Thursday night again, Wes. It's been a chaotic week for me, dealing with the aftermath of the car crash on Saturday and getting all that squared away. I got the official coroner's report. Blue Betty is deceased. She's no mas. She'll go to salvage. So, but that means I inherit my wife's CRV, which is not so bad. And she just drove a new one off the lot. So we, making chicken salad out of what, and on we go to the next one, and it's going to be a heck of a week, a heck of a weekend here. We got a great week 4 lined up on the high school football field. We'll talk about that a little bit later with Will Cotting, the outstanding linebacker from Beaufort High School, and they're on a 2-game winning streak and have a big one against May River tomorrow night. That'll be the WHHI game of the week. And we're also going to talk a little bit later with Bracken Lambert about the Sand Sharks over at USCB. Another win for the soccer team. I know cross country and golf are getting it going. And of course, basketball coming soon. We're just, we're
almost
less than 2 months away. Less than 2 months away. Like, it's coming real fast. So definitely looking forward to that, seeing hoops on campus at USCB. And, of course, we'll name our athletes of the week. But first things first, I guess, just how's your week been? What picked up? What's on your radar as far as headlines go this week? What's happening in Loco sports that has piqued your interest?
Yeah, well, there's been a couple of events I've been able to get to, including a really good volleyball match on Tuesday night. Maybe we're coming up short to a very good Lucy Beckham team. And my goodness, this region is
those first 2 sets were like
they
really
just
dogfights, right?
5 points, and just a couple of misplays for me. This is the difference, but. Yeah, either of those 2 sets could have gone the Sharks' way. Frustrating to see it end like that. But, credit the Sharks for fighting back, winning set 3, but just kind of overmatched as Lucy Beck will close it out in that final game. But all in all, it was a very close, competitive match. And, a lot to like about this May River volleyball team. But, yeah, I mean, you look at Lucy Beckham, James Island, a couple of really talented squads, Hilton Head. So you've got a couple really strong teams. I mean, that 4 seed coming out of that region is going to be a heck of a tough task for anyone to go up against in the playoffs. So it's a really strong volleyball region, and excited to keep following these teams. As we got some highlights from what was a fantastic night of volleyball and a great crowd to watch this one on hand. And I was impressed.
I didn't have a whole reel queued up or anything, but I thought we'd show something.
Well, yeah, impressive effort from May River. And then a couple other headlines that I noted throughout the week. Golf, speaking of May River Sharks, the girls golf team with another nice finish at the Barony Robbins Tour with a 9-hole score of 40. We just talked to on Monday.
Hilton Head beat them. Hilton Head beat them by 3, but Claire didn't play. So, you got to put an asterisk on there. On the volleyball subject, Bluffton beat Hilton Head 3-1 the other night.
Wow.
It was kind of like that May River Beckham match where it was 25-27, 27-25, 23-25.
You got to put Bluffton in that conversation of teams.
I mean, they're right there in the mix, and so I think James Island's pretty good, right? And but you saw that the margin between Beckham and May River is pretty narrow, and then you see the margin between Bluffton and Hilton Head, and I kind of suspect May River's right in that same layer. So it's going to be fun. There are going to be some really exciting matches. Yeah, everybody gets home and home too. So I like that part too. Yeah, it's good.
You get to see everybody at home for each of these schools, which it's great for us to be able to cover all of these teams in this region. So it's going to be a competitive couple weeks ahead on the volleyball court. But elsewhere, we talked a lot about this Hilton Head Prep girls soccer team last spring, and big news out of there, Caledondo announcing her commitment to play soccer at Furman. That is really well-deserved for someone who was such an integral part of that state championship team. What an incredible postseason she had. I believe she came close to or did put up a hat trick in every playoff game towards that state championship win.
Something like that. It was something bananas, like some kind of stat that you couldn't make up because no one would believe it, but it was real.
But she's a very talented player, a great team player, great work ethic. And we had talked to her during that playoff run. Really, really impressed by that young woman. So well-deserved. Congratulations to Cala. Furman has been a great girls women's soccer program of the years. So that's a fantastic fit for Dondo, and really excited for her as she gets ready to transition over to Furman and become a Paladin. So great work there for Cala, and just so well deserved for one of the most tremendous all around players, and someone who just put in so much work over that last year to get Hilton Prep to a state championship.
Yeah, she's really awesome. She was really poised. I enjoyed talking to her a lot on the show, and you could tell that like she was really into it. Like she was feeling it, and she was excited to be doing it, and was shining in the moment. So that was cool. It's always great when we get the kids on here and we get to actually see their personalities shine a little bit outside of the heat of the moment, or outside of the game, and get to see what they're about. Away from the game, because we're all different people when we get in the heat of competition, so they have a time to cool off and be themselves, and we get to see a little bit more of their personality. But we did have a comment, Whale Branch at home, absolutely. Although if you're going to that one, you better get there early, because I don't think Daryl Cummings and KJ Chisholm are going to be playing Bradford Thompson. They ain't going to be playing in the second half. That'll be a blowout. But we'll talk about that later in the football segment.
Should be an easy victory there for the Warriors against Burke to kick off week 4 over there. Actually, week 4 kicking off already here tonight, because we got
at last report. Oh, yep, we're getting reports. We're getting reports live from Bailey Cox. She's a volleyball and softball star at Colleton County, but she's also tonight the USCB I saw Bracken pop in. I said USCB, the LowcoSports correspondent at the Colleton County game. She's got it 7-7 in the third quarter with North Charleston. So we got a battle. All right.
And this is such an important game for Colleton County in the scope of this season. It's one that you target and you say you want to win. And it's Colleton County, if they play up to the standards that we've seen, especially in that first game against Hampton, where they fought really hard on defense, and it looks like it'll be another defensive battle here as we go down the stretch. This is an absolutely momentous next 12 minutes plus of Colleton County season right here.
Yeah, they need to win this game real bad. I mean, you just really do, because there's not a whole lot left on there that are like, this easy, and there's no easy wins, but this easy of a win, I mean, this is the one that you got to be able to pluck, and then you can have something to build off of. So Bailey's going to keep us posted on that one. But
before we get to Bracken, just one more piece of news I saw today. We've talked a lot about the cross country runners these last few weeks, including Bluffton's Ava Gershitz, but she also made news for her excellence in the academic realm, earning a spot as a National Merit Scholarship semifinalist alongside Eva Lundgren and Luke Constantino. So excellent job to all three of those students, and it's great to see our athletes shine on the field, and but seeing them do it in the classroom is extra special. Just speaks to the work ethic, especially those cross-country runners. We have a ton of academic standouts throughout that sport, and others as well. But we saw, Brooks Van Esselstyn, a National Merit Scholar last year. So we'll see if we can keep that streak going and get some more this year. So congrats and good luck to Ava Gershitz and the rest of those Bobcats.
I think Ava swims too for the Bobcats. Wow. I'm pretty sure she double dips. And I know Andrew, her brother, is a very good swimmer. So yeah, I mean, she's awesome. And that again goes to the swimmers are a different type, man. Like the kids and cross country too. But when you got one who's willing to put in the work it takes to be good at both of those things, like you've got a special young person. There's not a lot who have that kind of intrinsic motivation and willingness to give that much of themselves to just better themselves. So, it's not surprising to hear she's also a terrific academic scholar, and great to see another one from the Lowco, getting those up, or 3 more from the Lowco, getting that opportunity. So very good stuff. Let's take a quick, well, you mentioned cross country. Actually, I had one other cross country note that I wanted to pass on. Because JP2, I don't know who won I got to get the skis cross country people to send me better information. But John Paul II girls won a meet at Habersham. Ayla Reynolds ran a 2020 new PR to win the girls race by just almost a minute over her teammate Abby Brock. And boys placed second. I don't know who won. Zach Henderson was in second with a 17:45. So I'd love to know who won that race and that boys race and who the individual champ was. So if you're listening and your cross country team won that, make sure your cross country team is coaches sending us that information because we want to shout out your kids for their good work. But it's weird. I'm starting to see a lot of names of kids that I've coached that have grown up with my kids are now in the high school results, and it's like, oh man, it's starting to freak me out a little.
Goes by fast, but great result there for those JP2 Golden Warriors. Brady Mahoney has been a multi-sport star, taking 5th place this meet. Ayla Reynolds is someone we've been mentioning for a couple occurrences now, and it's great to see that program continue to put together some strong results. And skis across country, sometimes it's a different kind of setup than the high school league in terms of some of the the times, but we you just take a look at see what these boys and girls are doing out there, and the hard work that they have instilled in their teammates, and it's it should be celebrated, and it's not easy to put up times like that, and they're having a successful start to their season. So wish them all the best, and we congratulate them on an excellent start to the 2023 cross country season, and they certainly deserve some love as well alongside our high school and cross country teams.
Yeah, and we might see some of them pop up again in Athletes of the Week later on. We'll see. But let's get to our MVP sponsor reads, and then we'll talk with Bracken Lambert here shortly. But the MVP sponsors for Lowco Sports so far in the 2023-24 school year start with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports. She's a realtor with a Pierce Group of eXp Realty, and she'd love to help you find your spot in the Lowco, whether it's a starter home, a forever home, or an investment property, or you can spend the months when it's not so pleasant wherever else you live down here with us, where it's almost always pleasant, and the only thing you have to worry about most of the time are those sand gnats. But it's worth it. It's worth it, right? We deal with the sand gnats. It's okay. That weeds out the weaker people. Only the toughest can survive here in the Lowco with the sand gnats. But Megan Jarrett would love to help you find that home and find your way to the Low Country, or upgrade. Take advantage of this market right now. Get you a little upgrade. You probably got a lot of equity. Take advantage of it. And when it's time to close the deal, we're going to call on the Mickelson Law Firm. They're the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports. Our original sponsor, still with us 6.5 years later. Can't say enough thank yous to Ryan and Tiffany for all they do for our community, not only for Lowco Sports, but for everybody else. BYS, Hilton Head Christian Academy Athletics, they got signs out at May River and Bluffton. Like they're all over it. They support everybody, and they will support you with whatever your legal needs are. Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports. And before we close the deal, we're going to call on Homegrown Home Inspections. My buddy Jan Lucas and his team are the best in the area when it comes to making sure that you're making a purchase that you can feel good about. Jan's go-to saying, Wes, is that he'd rather tell you the inconvenient truth than the convenient lie. So, he's a straight shooter, sometimes no filter, but that can be good in a home inspector because he's going to call people on their stuff and make sure everything's right and all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, and you're making a great investment. And he's the official home inspector of Lowco Sports Homegrown Home Inspections. Excuse me. And then we have Hospice Care of the Low Country. They're having their big party, Harmonious. I think it was October 12th. Does that sound right? Over at Harbor Town. Go over to the Hospice Care of the Low Country website. You can find information on Harmonious. That's their big fall fundraiser. You'll have live jazz concert under the stars out at Harbor Town. They'll have all kinds of great hors d'oeuvres and treats for you. And I'm telling you, they will throw a heck of a party. There'll be, no expense will be left behind, and they'll definitely raise a lot of money for hospice care of the Low Country and palliative care of the Low Country, and help make sure that folks in our community don't have to come out of pocket when it comes to receiving those services at the end of their life experience, and that their loved ones have a pleasant end of life journey. Because at hospice, it's not about dying, it's about living. And those are our MVP sponsors so far this season. If you'd like to join the roster, hit us up at LowcoSports@gmail.com. That's LOWCO sports@gmail.com, and we'll get you in the mix and on the team. And we got Bracken Lambert ready to get in the mix here. What is going on, buddy?
What's up, guys?
Bracken Lambert, Mr. USCB. First of all, condolences. I know your father passed away this past week, and that's always tough. And he had some health difficulties late in life, and so that was a big strain. So I know it's always a bittersweet thing. But I saw a beautiful tattoo in tribute to him. Pretty awesome. So sorry if I'm making you cry. I didn't mean to, but I just wanted to acknowledge that. We love you, bro, and we're thinking of you. But you're right back to work. You're back doing what you love, supporting those Sand Sharks. And how are things going over there on that side of town?
It's going good, man. Everything's everything's in full swing right now. Cross country starts this weekend. Soccer's got their first conference games against Clayton State this weekend too. The women's golf team kicked off this past week. Men's golf kicks off next week. So we're just in full fledged. We found our PA announcer for men's basketball. We've got our women's PA announcer for basketball. So it's coming along. We're running, kind of seems like it's all running together, but we're getting there.
It is all coming together very quickly. We're only less than 2 months out from the start of men's and women's basketball, the inaugural season for the USCB Sand Sharks. So very excited about that. But let's talk about this women's soccer team that I've had the pleasure of calling so far this year. What a start for Jay Harris's Sand Sharks here in 2023. Off to a 3-0 start and a really complete performance back on Tuesday, 7-1 over St. Andrews. Our last tune-up game before Peach Belt Conference play begins Saturday afternoon against Clayton State. Going to be another hot one over at Finland Field, and I'll be there in the call. But what has impressed you the most about this hot start for Jay Harris's group?
Just the fact that they just never give up. It's tough when you, especially in game one, when you're playing a team that, you beat pretty handily last year, 5-0, and then all of a sudden you're down 2 goals, and it's you come up and you're like, goodness, what's going on? And then Eva, she came up and she found the back of the net 3 times, and first one was off a beautiful free kick just outside the 18. Second one was off just a little, that went through the keeper's hands, and then a PK there at the end of the game, which, hey, you never want to win the game that way, but, hey, you get a hat trick. And then I was able to travel with them up to King, up in Bristol, Tennessee last weekend, and another, down, they didn't score a goal in the first half, down 1-0 after the first 45, and they just came up, and, it just happened. So, I see JJ's got the highlights up here from some St. Andrews. Got a few. We're still working out a couple of the kinks here on the broadcast, but that was Molly Kerr, the trio of M's. That was the best.
You didn't use my headline. I'm so disappointed.
Molly, Mari, and Marcella with 2 each.
He called me for headline advice, Wes. He said the trio of M's scored 2 goals each, and I said, all right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go
delicious.
Delicious, or good. Sand Sharks snack on St. Andrews.
Would you have put? Now, here's the real question: when you were in my position, would you have done that?
I don't know, but if I were in your position now, I would.
Well, that was a sweet goal right there from Marcelo Martinez.
From Sharksoni.
That was disgusting.
Yeah.
Around the goalkeeper.
I have to run that one back because that was pretty sick. I got to see that.
Yeah, she was. That was great. It was great to see. The biggest takeaway I think from Tuesday's game was getting Mari off the scoreless streak. She getting her out of the scoreless streak was probably the biggest aspect of it. We
getting her on the board.
Getting her on the board.
See it go in the net.
The other thing I've been really impressed about is set pieces. How many goals are scoring off of corners and free kicks? That's a skill that some players really have the talent for that, and even Christian Daughter has just been excellent in sending in those balls for Molly Kerr to head off 2 of them into the back of the net on Tuesday. But that set piece play has been really impressive to me. And then lost in all this is how well the back line has continued to play. And against
nothing to take away from the back line. That 4 of Skelton, Fielding, White, and Martin, and then Worrell there in net. She's that 5 back there. You can't. I mean, I don't. Again, you're playing.
That's the thing. If you can play like that back there, and then you can score on set pieces, you can win games where you get dominated. Like you can beat teams that control possession and outplay you because you steal one on a set piece and you just don't give one up. So that's a nice combination.
Yeah, I mean, the big duo of having Adriana and Aaliyah kind of solidifying that middle of that back line, and then Emily coming in for her junior year. You don't think about this very often. JJ, we were around for the inaugural team,
the Genesis,
the OGs. We just spotlighted Steph Moldenhauer in our
I just saw that. Yeah.
She's she's the head coach over at May River, and she's gonna bring the girls over to a couple of games here next few weeks.
Cool.
Let's get her out there. She held a spot in the record book for a long time. Obviously now it's we were texting about it earlier, and she's like, "I think you're wrong about the record book," and I was like, "No, I'm right. I redid it."
Yeah, so. When I created the record book back in the day, like we were putting everybody in the record book because there were just not a lot of records yet. Like when you went 10 deep, you got to like somebody with 2 goals.
Yeah, so there's still some that are a little low. Game-winning goals is, I think she's tied for 8th, or she's 8th all time with 3.
It takes time to surpass those.
Right.
Yeah,
it's not
I'll tell you about someone who has been right in the record book, and that's Mari Kolvat, now in her 5th year. 46 goals, program record, and just 4 away from 50, which is just an unbelievable milestone for college soccer to get to that number. And someone who's been such an integral part of this program for a number of years, just she has to mean so much to her team as a whole, but especially those younger players and setting the example and producing for this team. And I'm sure you agreed with this, but great to see her get going. I think that's important as the season goes along in the conference play.
Oh, absolutely. I think Saturday is going to be a really big test. Clayton State's played a lot more games than us, but I think that every game, Coach Harris, Jay, you guys had him on. I think it was last week, and he says you got to focus on the next piece in front of you. And I think Clayton State's been looking forward to this game. I don't want to say we stole a game out of there last year, but we took a 1-0 victory over them in Morrow last year. So I think that I think it's going to be a good game. I hope there's a big crowd out there. Wes, I know you'll be out there with us. JJ, if you get some time, come on out. We'll love to have you out there at Finland. But
I would definitely love to get out to a game soon. It's just my schedules. But
it's very tough. I get it. But there, it's gonna be a game, and I don't expect it's either going to be a defensive battle the entire time. But the thing is like we've got some momentum. That was a huge deal getting, especially getting our goal scorers some goals, getting Mari a couple of goals, E with a couple of assists, Kennedy scoring 2 goals in as many games, and Marcella, who played primarily on the back line last year. When I was updating all the stuff for this year, I was like, wait a second, she played defense last year. She's not a forward. But then you look at her speed.
She could absolutely fly.
She's a missile. You just go down there and look at it. She's fun.
From baseball, it's like you can watch a person be an outfielder their whole life. It doesn't mean they can't play the infield. It's just that's where they're playing right now. Just be a ball player, and I think soccer players are largely the same. I mean, she may have come in as a midfielder or whatever, but I guarantee you she's been the finisher on some team in her career, and she'll be the finisher. She can do it when called upon. So that's what you want, though. You want versatile pieces that are interchangeable. That's important.
And she's got one more year. She's got one more year of eligibility.
What's that, Wes?
So, by the way, 6 straight division titles to your Braves, Bracken. Gotta be feeling good.
Man.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about it, but I mean, I can still say I pay for season tickets, so class act of the MVP right now. You know, you got our shortstop there, JJ, but I mean, RC has pretty been nice. But you know, Marcella's got one more year of eligibility, and I'm doing everything I can to convince her to stay for one more year. And you know, she got that COVID year, but you know, she's already double majored and minored, so I think she'll probably be wrapping it up here as her career winds down. But I mean, this is a good squad, and it's fun. Yeah. Got a lot of youth, and a lot of youth who are getting a lot of experience. But I am really looking forward to seeing what Coach Terica Harris can do there this weekend at the Furman Invitational. You know, don't know much about cross country, but you know, she's my office partner. JJ, I don't know where your office was in the rec center when you guys moved over there. I don't know if you were the last corner.
Right by the back door, by the fire door. Yeah.
Yep. So that's the same office I've got. Right. She's in the office right next to me. So we yell at each other all the time. So
you can hear each other's conversations through the walls.
Yes. And Coach Larry's on her staff now as the assistant. And so I hear all that, and he's like, Bracken, I need your help. I'm like, oh boy, I'm trying to get some stuff done. And he's like, come on, I got to talk to you. So, but it's good.
If I ever get a free day, I'll have to just come and hang out and bring a camera and have fun.
Yeah. I mean, the office might look a little bit more navy and red with all the Brave stuff in there, but
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Well, I mean, I had some Cubs stuff in there, which wasn't too far off, just royal and red.
Yeah.
So not too far off. How's golf? Women's golf started off with the 8th place, I know. What were the highlights there?
McLean Neal, a transfer from Bryant University out of the NEC, which that's fun because I spent my internship year up at St. Francis U.
St. Franny.
Worst and best experience of my life. You've got plenty of phone calls that year while I was frustrated But
that was your year backpacking in Europe, so to speak.
That's right.
You had to learn a lot about the world and about yourself.
Yeah, but a great experience. I actually got to travel to Bryant for a basketball game, so it was really cool to just make that connection. But Ashley Mead, McLean Neal really put it together. Katerina Tieves, I'm looking forward to seeing how she does. She's a freshman. Out of France, or no, she's out of Germany. Sorry, we got a lot of international.
No, I understand. I've been there.
But she did really well during qualifying. Had a great first 2 rounds on Monday, but struggled there on the 3rd round. So did Kirsten Thompson. But I mean, you know what? As a team, you know, I think Corey. I think he's very satisfied with where they finished in that first day. You know, tied for.
You just got to see. You got to get out there and play, so you can see what you need to work on. And Corey's terrific. I mean, what I love to see all the alums coming back. I mean, I think that's a really cool thing. You know, you've got Corey who played there, coaching the golf team. You got yourself back, and you know, we've had others come through. Allie Simmons was there for a while after playing there, so it's always neat to see the kids who play there and become a part of that family. Stick around or come back after going off somewhere else. So pretty cool stuff, man. But we appreciate you hopping on with us tonight, and we'll definitely get back with you real soon to keep us posted on what's happening over at USCB.
Awesome, guys. Thank y'all for having me. I'll see you guys later.
All right. Take care, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Good to talk with Bracken. And again, condolences to he and his family for the loss of his father. You know, it's always a tough thing, but you know, I've been talking with him a good bit this week, and seems like he's doing well, taking it in stride, and he's doing a great job over at USCB. Proud of it. That was my very first student worker at USCB back in the day. He came to me and wanted to. Actually, he just was always hanging around, and I finally said, "Hey, man, you want a job?" And he said, "Yeah." So the rest was history. Here we are. Here we are. Yeah, here we are. It's crazy. But let's shout out these varsity sponsors. We got the Parker Law Group, our new friends who have been serving folks with their legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties for years. And now they are our newest varsity sponsor to try to help us continue to expand our coverage into those areas and shine a light on more deserving student athletes and teams in the Low Country. We appreciate them for that. So give them a call for all your legal needs. Then you got the DDS Web Design, the official SEO experts of Lowco Sports. My friends Dave and Denise are outstanding at building a website that will get you found online and produce results. And they love to work with small businesses and nonprofits to help them do more within their budget, because they've got a great website that's working for them to attract all us extremely online people like you and me and all of our viewers who are tuning in to YouTube live on a Thursday night to hear about local sports. It's good stuff, ain't it? Having a good time. But we've got a real treat coming here, Wes. We've got a friend in the green room, and if he'll just pop on his camera to let me know that he's ready. We've got Will Cotting ready to talk with us about some beautiful football. What's going on, Will? You've been chilling in that green room for a while. Are there any snacks left back there?
No, sir.
Got them all. Well, thanks for jumping on with us on short notice, but just wanted to chat with you a little bit about, obviously how the season's going. Obviously, you guys were state champs last year, and we'll have you reflect on that a little bit too. But, tough 0-2 start against a couple really good football teams. Had to fight one out, scrap one out at Hilton Head. And then again, last week at Goose Creek, just a battle. You guys have been absolutely tested through 4 weeks. What have you learned about this team and that you maybe didn't know going into the season?
Yes, sir. I mean, obviously coming out of last year, we knew we were going to have some holes in some certain positions, and we've had some young guys definitely step up and, show that they were really ready to play. And, going through the couple weeks, I feel like we have just a lot of really good athletes, and I feel like just our main issue starting off was just the mental errors. And, just like starting off with a pretty young team. Yeah. That's kind of common, but I feel like
especially when you're opening with a Cane Bay and that kind of competition right out of the gate, that you'll expose those mental errors pretty quickly, right?
Yes, sir. And I kind of like that, and I feel like that's why Coach Labrand does that, is to start us off with really good teams and good competition, just to one, kind of put us in our place, and two, just to get us right into the season and give us some really good competition to start off. And I feel like us starting off 0-2 really kind of just got to our heads, and we were like, crap, we really got to get onto it. And I feel like the past 2 weeks we've had some really close games and battles with the past two teams, and I feel like going into May River, it's not going to change very much. It's definitely going to be a really good game.
Well, we've seen, what Bryce Labrand has done, scheduling up, playing those tough teams, 5A, Cane Bay, and then Fort Dorchester. And you guys competed hard in both of those games. Came down to the fourth quarter both times, but ended up coming up short. And then it really turned around. You guys were in a tough spot midway through that Hilton Head game, but you found a way to battle and rally. And after that, it looked like you guys really found some kind of mojo, just belief in yourselves that you have. Obviously, you won a state championship last year, a little bit of a different team, but you're still here. You were a big part of that state title squad alongside a couple other guys on that defense. So, you're used to fighting, battling through a full 15-game season, getting all the way and winning a state championship. So, just describe the mentality that you took into this year and what you've acquired from some tough battles early on as you get ready for a game against May River and then region play.
Yes, sir. Coming from last year, we've got a couple returning players that played on that state championship team. And I feel like coming into the season, we've got a few of those key leaders to where when we are in tough games and tough situations where they can step up and really just kind of take the team on their back and just kind of help them out when the situation does get hard. And pretty much the whole season, the first 4 games we've had have been like we've been in tough situations. They've been tough games, and I feel like when those leaders really step up and the whole team just kind of gets motivated, I feel like that's what really helps us like step through and kind of like pull through in those late quarters of the game.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of guys on that defense who have emerged. I think Chaz Brown was just terrific against Hilton Head, and then he followed it up last week against Goose Creek. So that's a guy that, once that game slowed down a little bit, once you got past Cane Bay and Fort D and you played competition a little bit more on your level as far as the speed of the game, it looks like some of those guys are really seeing a quick benefit from getting tested early on. Chaz, to shout out some other guys on that defense who have stepped up that maybe you weren't sure what you had going into the season, but now you got a guy that you can go to battle with.
Yes, sir. I mean, yeah, obviously coming out of last season with the holes, we've had to have some young guys really step up. And I feel like Isaac Smalls at corner was a part of that team
He's
last
a dog.
year.
He's a dog, man. He is aggressive.
Yeah, definitely going to be a big part of our team this year. Also, Jaden Simmons on that D line, definitely a huge part. Also, yeah, Chaz has had a couple big games. I feel like he's going to be a big part of the team. And
can't block them all.
Jaden Andrews coming up on offense is definitely surprised a lot of people. And I feel like he's going to be a key part of our team this year.
Feels a little bit like a guy who emerged out of nowhere like 3 weeks into last season, doesn't it? I mean, he's running hard.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying he's going to do what Casey Fields did last year, but it feels a little bit like that. That's all I'm saying.
And another guy that has really impressed me, we talked about a lot last year, Dom Camacho, big play Dom, who, my God, it seems like every week he finds a way to come up with a big interception or just, tremendous coverage throughout the game, defending the pass. Talk about that secondary and what he brings and how he helps contribute to what you're doing, playing tough defense and linebacker.
Yes, sir. I mean, obviously, Dom is one of those big leaders that we have in the secondary, being a senior. And I feel like he always just like seems to come up with those big plays when we really need it. And just having him back there just really kind of helps with like the fact that we have a young secondary and like him being able to step up like as a leader and really just like help out is a big thing. And with that injury against Goose Creek, he's been dealing with it a little bit, and we haven't really gotten a full we're not really sure what the time is on that recovery, but we're just hoping him to get back quick so he can be a vital part of that secondary.
Yeah, he's definitely a big time player. Just good instincts. It seems like he always puts himself in position to make a good play, make the play. And I've been impressed with your play, though. We've been making you shout out your teammates, but I think you take the defensive calls, right? And you play downhill, man. I mean, I shout you out all the time because you're a little more undersized fellow like myself, maybe not as blessed genetically as some, but you play way above your size. You look like a safety out there size wise, but you play like a full size linebacker. So, talk yourself up a little bit, talk about your game and what thing you think makes you such an effective defender at the high school level.
I mean, yes, sir. I mean, knowing that I am a good bit undersized, I've really tried to bulk up and just really almost just play like I have no regard for anything and really
well, if that's what you're going for, you're doing a good job because that's what I see, like reckless disregard for your own well-being.
Yes, sir. And I mean, obviously with the great D-line that we have and amazing coaching from Coach Garl, it really helps me get those good opportunities to make a big play. And I feel like it's going to be a good season, I feel like.
Well, we heard your name called a lot throughout last year when you guys went all the way to win a memorable state championship, and you were an absolutely massive part of how successful that defense was down the stretch of that season into the playoffs. just take me back and describe that remarkable run that you guys went on and the experience of that. That's going to help you, show that leadership and that intensity as you guys try to defend your title.
Yeah, I mean, I remember last season, all the way from our last regular season game against Hanahan, all the way throughout the playoffs, we were underdogs. And I feel like once we got into those first couple games, like we kind of realized that like we were really getting into our groove. And we had one really close call against Crestwood. And I feel like that really kind of like got to us. We were like, we really got to step up. And that's where like a couple of the big leaders like Colton and Casey, like they really stepped it up. And I feel like that was a very memorable season. And a couple of those key people that are on our team this year from that team last year really just kind of have a feel for what that was and are definitely going to be a big part in this team that we have this year and the success that we make this season.
Yeah, that was a scary game, dude. You were against the ropes. Like it felt like it was going to end there that night and just kept coming back and coming back. Did you come up with like a big pick? You had some big play in that game, right? Something pivotal?
I think I'm pretty sure it was a tackle for a loss on 4th down.
Okay, yeah, maybe that was it. Talbert had a pick, I think. But man, that game was crazy. That's a really good team, by the way.
Yeah.
I've got them in the top 5 right now. I think they were really good last year, and almost all those guys were coming back. That's a really dangerous team. But talk to me a little bit about May River. You guys have had a great rivalry with them going back to when you were in the same region, which I guess kind of predates you, but it has carried on. It doesn't matter that it's a non-region game. You guys don't really love each other very much, do you?
No, I mean, yeah, we've kind of made it into a pretty big rivalry. We always like to have fun with it, and we love to talk, all that stuff. I feel like regardless of like how good the teams are or whatever, every time we play May River, it's always a great, really close game. And I just feel like we're like really just the way the rivalry is, it's like it's a really close game every year. And great coaching.
Oh, it's a physical game too, right? Like super physical game.
Yeah. Very physical on both sides.
I expect another close one this year. Tell me what's impressed you most about Tanner Macy and this May River offense has really found something these last 2 weeks. What have you seen? What have been the most striking components that you're going to look out for on Friday night?
Yes, sir. I mean, watching a good bit of film, I feel like the majority of May River's offense is just letting Tanner Macy out of that pocket and on some of the designed quarterback runs. I feel like when he gets a lane, he'll take it and run with it. I feel like if we really shut that down and like get him to stay in the pocket and conserve him, I feel like we should run away with it.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's just kind of an X factor that can make things happen. So if everybody's disciplined and you don't let him get out and freelance, I think you'll be in good shape. Although the back Jordan Williams, he runs hard too. He's a load. So you'll definitely have your work cut out for you. Scouting, chasing those guys around all night. But I love the way this team's playing the past couple of weeks, and I think too. That state championship carries over, right? I mean, there's just everybody who was a part of that and really understands what it took what all went into actually making that a reality. The guys who are still around, they want another little taste, right? Like you want a piece of another one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, coming from last year, definitely it was a huge achievement, and obviously everybody on the team this year definitely wants a piece of it. And I mean, it was definitely a lot of work and commitment to get there. But I mean, I wouldn't put it past this team. We've got a lot of great players and amazing coaching. And I feel like if we really get into our groove, we could have a chance at it again.
Anything else for him, Wes? Before we let
How
it's a
fun is
school
it
night.
playing? Yeah, just talk about the atmosphere over there at Buford at Ladies
Oh
Island
yeah.
with the great crowd, student section, and then the PA always hypes you guys up. The music it gets you going. How hyped is it pregame and then during the game, and just describe the excitement and atmosphere that you get to play in front of over in Ladies Island at Buford High.
Yeah, I mean, we've got every game, every home game is a great environment. We have a really good announcer, amazing student section. Stands are always packed, and especially against this game, May River, they're gonna have a huge student section. All the stands are gonna be packed. I think it's gonna be great environment.
Yeah, it'll be on WHHI too, so everybody can go back and watch it all week long and see how it goes down. So I'll be out at Hampton Hilton Head. I think that one's going to be good too. But yeah, we got some good ones this week, man. Any other teams really catching your eye? Teams that you haven't played yet, or players that you're like, dang, that dude, he's legit.
I mean, I've seen a couple clips from Battery Creek, but I feel like we kind of just move week by week.
Yeah.
But I feel like when the time gets there, we'll acknowledge it. But
how about Hilton Head? How about Shai Thompson? He's pretty impressive, right?
yeah, he caught my eye during the game. He's definitely an amazing athlete, and I'm really looking forward to see where he goes in life. I feel like he's gonna have a great future with football.
Yeah, no doubt. How about you? What I know you'd like to play college football, but I think you're also high academic guy thinking about engineering stuff too, right? So what's kind of the what are we shooting for right now?
Yes, sir. I mean, right now, just kind of playing it out as it goes. Obviously, like going to college for football would be like an amazing accomplishment and something that I would like to do. But I feel like, I mean, if that really doesn't work,
yeah, it's got to be the right fit. It's got to be the right fit
You still
academically
got time.
first.
You got 2 more years to figure that out. Just a junior, describe your goals and what you want to accomplish. Obviously, you've won that state championship. I'm sure you want to keep pushing for more of those before time's up at Buford. But describe your goals and what you want to accomplish both as a player, as a leader through these next 2 years as a Buford High Eagle.
yeah, I mean, I really just kind of this year and next year, I just really want to set my goal on the team to kind of step up as a leader and be one of those players that like the rest of my team can kind of look up to and like be there for them. And like I talked about earlier, like when we're in those really tough games and like everybody's just kind of like letting their head down and you just need like that one or two people to just like really just step up and be a leader and like help them like throughout that time.
If not you, who, right? I mean, somebody's got to do it. So, well, we appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, man. And best of luck tomorrow. We got to wish less luck to the Sharks as well. Loco on Loco matchup. But best of luck to you personally. Hope you stay happy and healthy and have a great game, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Take care, Will.
Thank you.
All right, good talking with Will Cotting. Like I said earlier, getting kids on here is my favorite because it's just cool. I've seen that dude play a lot of football. I've never spoken to him,
Yeah.
other than maybe just a fist bump in passing. But great to talk with him and see the emotional maturity and a lot of that is why these kids are so successful in athletics because they have that discipline and maturity that it takes to to lock in and be
And
great.
I think the coaches have a good thing to do, have something to do with
100% they
that.
do.
And that entire coaching staff is just phenomenal. How they get
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
But Will Cotty himself, he is an absolute dog. I mean, I've mentioned so many times throughout last season and this, and he might be, I've talked a lot about Casey Fields and Cold Furies, and rightfully so. They have been spectacular players, but someone who's a complete package who just wins with his effort and just displays that unending source of energy on the defensive side. I mean, one of the most underrated players in the entire Lowco, and he might very well be my favorite Buford High player, just for all the energy that he puts into his game and just may not be the biggest guy, but he is just
He
so
flies,
powerful on the
dude. He
drive. Yeah,
flies around. He
yeah,
flies to the ball. And it's because he anticipates very well because he understands the game. He's a student of the game. He sees what's going to happen before it happens. And he gets to the spot with
yeah.
ferocity. And, I know he wants to play college football. I know he's going to get overlooked by most Division I programs for sure, especially as a linebacker, maybe as a safety. Just because he's a little smaller. But I mean, he's got the linebacker mentality. I think he could certainly be a safety as well. But I think he could. He wants to be an engineer. Why not? MIT, are you listening, Michael
Yeah,
Dennison? Are you listening? MIT would be a great spot for Will Cotting. Go play linebacker at MIT, get that engineering degree, and it's the best of both worlds. So, hope it works out for him, man. He's a great high school football player. Really enjoy watching him play, and it was great to speak with him as well. Let's talk about the Lowco Booster Club sponsors real quick, and then we'll, before we get out of here, talk a little bit about Week 4 and our athletes of the week. We got Prime IV Hydration and Wellness. My guy Max over at Rooted Living. All right, in Fairtown Village, sorry. We'll get you hooked up with the IV bag with all your vitamins and minerals, get you feeling good. And then my guy Ambrose at Rooted Living, I went and saw him yesterday, Wes. It was a legit chiropractic adjustment. Ambrose spent a lot of time with me. I had the accident, so he wanted to make sure everything was good. I hadn't been to the chiropractor in a while. He really worked on these neck muscles that always have to anchor my head when I'm looking at the computer. Got me feeling right, and I'm still a little janky, but much better than I was before. So strongly recommend going to see Ambrose over at Rooted Living Wellness if you're not feeling your best, and he'll get you feeling better at least. And eventually he'll get you feeling your best, I promise. He also shamed me about not intentionally exercising enough. So if you need someone to shame you about that, very gently shame me. It didn't even make me feel bad. It was just like a father's disappointment. That kind of shame. So if you need someone in your life who can do that for you to make you live healthier, call on Ambrose over at Rooted Living Wellness. And then we got Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Chris Odom is my guy. He gets your floors clean, your carpet, your upholstery, whatever, your shower. He'll get that nasty mold and pink gunk out of your shower. Whatever you need, he will get the floors so clean your feet will thank you. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Eagle Creations, they've got great promotional items, apparel, awards, gag gifts, gift baskets, all kinds of stuff in their showroom over off Argent Road. And they will hook you up in a pinch if you need something real quick and they've got it in stock. They'll find a way for you. So give them a call and let them know that Lowco sent you if you need any promotional items or anything for your team or organization. And then we got the Court Lifestyle Pros, Low Country natives, Debbie and Daniel Court, selling the Lowco lifestyle on Hilton Head. So if that's what you're looking for, get in touch with the Court Lifestyle Pros. And Wes, looking forward to Week 4. I will be heading out to Hampton for a little Hampton County versus Hilton Head, the Baby Blue Bowl, I'm going to call it. That's going to be a good one, man. I'm looking forward to that a lot. Rigdon's fried chicken pregame too. Definitely going to do that.
Yeah, that's going to be a great spot to get to for the game, and maybe film some content. So we'll see what comes out of that. But I'm excited. That is going to be one heck of an experience because, it was cool. I was at the Hampton County game last week, and the players were walking across. They're walking through the bleachers, and then they turned around and went onto the field for the traditional running through.
Oh yeah.
Cheerleaders and
that's the Hurricane Walk.
The Hurricane Walk.
Hurricane
Walk.
Okay. As I understand, it occurs to the hurricane alert siren and Thunderstruck or Back in Black, one or the other.
Yeah.
Thunderstruck. AC/DC songs. Yep. Thunderstruck. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, great intro, cool. And it got me hyped up. Got the team hyped up, and they dominated. It's good to see a Johnson team, but I think this one's going to be a heck of a battle, and you're going to see a good one over there in Hampton between the Hurricanes and the Seahawks. So looking forward to hearing how that one goes down on the local.
It could be a pretty quick one because I think we're going to see a lot of Timko and a lot of Dobson.
Great running back matchup. Great two defenses. So could be a quick one, but it could be a very tense, close, exciting one as well. I will be over in Hardyville to see JP2 face off against Pound Prep. Of course, the big question is the status of Christian Tilton, if CT4
Yeah,
plays.
it's become customary for me to get a Friday morning email with the Christian Tilton injury update. So hopefully I'll get that in time for Loco Game Day Live once again to give an update. So you might not want to turn in your picks just yet.
Keep an eye on that on the injury update from Tilton. But we got an update from North Charleston.
Yeah, let's see what we got. Last report, it was 14-7 Colleton, and that's still the report at this time.
Right,
it is the third quarter now. Bailey, our intrepid reporter, did inform us she's not at the game. She's relying on someone for updates, and he used football language and confused her. So it was only halftime a little bit ago, but now it's the third quarter. 14-7 Colleton. So, yeah, looking good for the Cougs so far. Let's hope they can. I like that defense. I think the defense can hold on here. I think they can do it. Just no big plays. Play cover 2. Don't get burned. Be smart here, Kinlock. You got this.
A couple of big Skeezer games as well this coming week. We got Hilton Head Christian at Northwood Academy. The Eagles coming off that huge win over Ben Lippen on the road to get their first victory of the year, and then Hilton Head Prep. This might be their biggest chance of getting that win column against 0-3 First Baptist team at Sea Pine. So it's a big week as well for Dustin Etheridge's squad over there for the Dolphins. Hopefully they get it done, and then
it could. It is the afternoon special. Should be nice and hot.
And then another one that's kind of under the radar, Dorchester Thomas Hayward. That could be a very interesting game.
I like that one. I bet Dylan will be at that one. We got to get a report from Dylan.
Get Dylan on tomorrow or sometime on Friday night because I want to hear his opinion on this Dorchester.
I think Dorchester is pretty tough. Pretty tough.
Yep.
Yeah, they're off to a good start. But THA, I mean, they took the Jerry Hatcher approach and just put the ball in your best player's hands and let him do his thing. Antonio Banner is, I mean, you want to talk about people talk about a man among boys. It is very literally true when you're talking about Antonio Banner playing Skeezer football. That guy is on a different level, and he is hard to tackle. So that'll be a good one. That'll be a good Donnybrook. Bluffton, Battery Creek. I'd love for Battery Creek to keep that competitive, but man, they're just banged up. I think Nick Underwood's out again. Damien's still not even 100%. Like they're in a bad way because the strength of the team was the skill positions, and now even that has been decimated because when you don't have strength at the line, the skill positions get hit a lot. So,
speaking of football, I don't think we mentioned this earlier, but we almost had a Lowco sweep of the South Carolina Football Coaches Association for a lower state awards.
Hit me up.
Yeah, we have the 3 of the 4 from the Lowco. Tanner Macy winning the offensive award, and then Colleton County Trey Wright earning the Colleton County High Cougar getting the special teams award, and then your lineman is Chamber Eldridge from Bluffton. So 3 of the 4 getting South Carolina Football Coaches Association Player of the Week honors for week 3. So excellent.
Zion got shut out this week.
Let's see, was it Zion Dobson or was no, Barnwell's Cameron Austin got it for.
Gosh, what did he do that was better than 226 on 6 carries? Yikes!
Yeah, Barnwell took 2 of the 4. Then Cam Pringle, the lineman from our neck of the woods. I mean, they're technically not in coverage area, but they're our neighbors.
Woodlander. No, they're I call them. Yeah, they're like our stepchildren. we love them too. They just don't live with us. They live next door. Next, they'll be next.
Yeah,
I don't know when we'll be able to add more teams to our coverage area, but they belong here. They're part of part of what we're doing here. So most certainly, I got to see before we let the people go. I can't leave them hanging. A good producer would have to look this up and see what this cat from Barnwell did to knock Dobson off the throne. He had a pretty good day. I still would have taken Dobson, but 18 for 124 rushing, 4 touchdowns, 15 for 25, 181 passing, a touchdown. They threw 2 picks though against OW. threw 2 picks. Like, I don't know. Sometimes people get, you get that whole total yards thing going, and they get a little wonky with it. But I don't know. Those passing numbers are kind of meh for me. I'd have gone Zion. But they got to be political too. You got to spread it around. You can't give it to the same guy every week. Zion's already got it like 2 or 3 times. They're like, yeah, he'll be fine. Zion will be fine. Tiny violins for Zion. That guy can really play football. I can't wait to see him in person again.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I saw him at Colleton, but he wasn't right then. He was not healthy.
I saw him last year at Hilton Head, but he looked a lot more.
He's
fine.
Bigger.
Yeah.
He's a lot bigger than he was last year. He is jacked, dude. Like, they got a good weight program out there. What are we doing for athletes of the week, Wes?
I'm gonna go football this weekend. I love getting into some of the defensive guys who maybe sometimes don't get as much love as some of the offensive players do. Hilton Head Christian Academy, huge win at Ben Lippen, 31-14. And man, Reed McCollum, what a way to step up. 6 tackles, including 5 solo, 2 for loss, 2 sacks, 2 interceptions, including a pick 6. Absolutely monstrous performance, and the biggest game of their season against a very, very good Ben Lippen offense who's coming and playing some good football. So, to step up like that, pick off 2 passes, take one back to the house, and then, just eat up in terms of in the backfield and, storming in to make a couple of sacks with his athleticism and just great instincts, pursuit that we saw on the field. Someone who Ron Peduzzi was hyping up and certainly lived up to it on Friday night to contribute big time for absolutely huge Hilton Christian Academy win as they look to keep it going, a big one at Northwood Academy. So excited to see how that one unfolds. But what a fantastic outing for McCollum and the Eagles.
Yeah, that one play was absolutely absurd. The pick six. The pick 6. I'm trying to get it going. Let me see if I can. I think this is the one. Yeah, that's got to be the one. I'm trying to get it shared here. It's crazy. And let's see if I can go full screen. I don't know how to make it go full screen, but we're going to try it anyway. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Oh! I still can't, even process what happened.
That happened, the blink of an eye. But what a heads-up play.
Here it comes again. Oh.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's
got some size and power. He's gonna be tough. He looks the part.
He certainly does. Did he drop in coverage? Oh my!
And he's flying. Right,
dude. Yeah, he's a quarterback too. Like, he's the quarterback next year, I believe. I believe that's the plan. So he's a guy. He's a name we need to know, and that a lot of people are going to know. Obviously, he's playing against a Skeeza team, and it's a little different. But you're supposed to look like a dude when you play against a team like that, and he looks like a dude. He's pretty impressive. Wow. Yeah, he's
excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great choice there, Wes. That's an excellent football player. Yeah, you can see. Oh man, the lateral movement is really nice. Got him down. Got him down. All right.
Form,
I like him. I'm impressed. I mean, I knew just from the way Ron Peduzzi and Matt Smith talked about in preseason that he was going to be pretty special, because I remember years ago them talking about this young kid named Jace Blackshear and in the same kind of tones, and so I know when they start talking about a guy like that, I know what it means, and so I knew he was going to be pretty good. Good to see him already starting to develop into that this early. So exciting stuff. For my athlete of the week, I didn't really have one queued up, if I'm being honest with you. But I'm sure I could come up with one. Actually, I do have one for you. from the golf. The golf.
The golf.
Yeah, it was Catherine Gavin, I believe, who was the. Here we go. Catherine Gavin, I believe, was the medalist. Well, I got two from the golf. I got to shout out two from the golf. We have Catherine Gavin, who shot a 38 at Barony to lead Hilton Head to that 3-shot win over May River. Although, again, May River was without Claire, so that's a little different. But still, 175, really solid score for the Seahawks. And beating May River even without Claire was not easy. And then the other one was Bridget Wilkie again. She shot an even better score. She shot like a 34 the other day to win, right? She shot a 33 at Colleton River Nicholas.
Wow.
She shot a 33 at Colleton River Nicholas, and they shot 184 as a team. So
that's impressive.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff. Next best 38 by Sophie Hannigan from John Paul II. JP2, got a couple pretty good players. They're gonna be better this year. But Hilton Head Prep, definitely the class, not only of the area, but of
only a few weeks away before they're getting ready to go for another title. That was one of the first teams that get crowned.
Almost October, dude. October. That's crazy.
Midway through the month.
Well, not almost, but we're halfway. We're halfway done. Almost.
We're almost the midpoint of the season, so so it goes by fast.
Oh gosh. Don't remind me. We started at week -1, and this is already week 4. So, all right. So just running down the slate again, and we'll check for one more update. 20-7, Colleton. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Cougs. Let's go,
Colleton County. Win. North Charleston. That's a huge momentum builder. Getting ready for region play in 7-4A. So that's gonna spike up the morale and just get everyone fired up and good effort. Heck of a complete effort there.
Yeah,
so
they need to finish that thing off.
Defense, really backed up. Yeah, defense really backing up what they did against Hampton County. Love the way Adam Kinglock's team's playing. That's a huge win.
Yeah, they need to get it. They need to finish it up. It ain't over yet. They've got May River at Buford. Not final yet. Not final. Right. I was just getting excited about the extra score that had occurred. May River at Buford, WHHI game of the week. Bluffton at Battery Creek. Hilton Head at Hampton. That's where I'll be. Ridgeland at Marlboro County. That's a game the Jags, I think they got a shot to win that. It's a tough road trip all the way up there, but I think they got a chance. I think they'll be at least on par, if not the better team, and they've had a week off. So I like Ridgeland there. Burke at Whale Branch should be lopsided. Memorial Day at Colleton Prep is kind of interesting. I think Colleton gets that one done. Hopefully Cole Davis is back. Orangeburg at BA is interesting, but BA should be okay. HHCA Northwood, as you mentioned, is very interesting. First Baptist at Hilton Head Prep, I think, is interesting. I think First Baptist is probably a little bit better team, but I think playing that afternoon showcase at Sea Pines is always the X factor. And that Etheridge's kids are going to play really hard. Pinewood Prep at JP2, again, the if factor. We'll look forward to our Christian Tilton injury update. Greenwood Christian and Patrick Henry shouldn't be an issue for the Patriots, although Greenwood's not a bad team. But I just think
Henry's on an absolute roar.
They're pretty dang good. They're pretty dang good. Dorchester THA is fun. Cross at Bethesda is not. Holy Trinity at Oakbrook is kind of fun. Holy Trinity's rolling the last 2 games. So Bethesda's good though, and so Cross is not going to have a good time over there. They're tough. That's going to be rough. Cross got to look at 8-man. They'd be competitive in 8-man.
Yeah.
It'd be good. They could have a nice little rivalry with Holy Trinity. Yeah. The Beaufort County 8-man programs.
Local rivalry.
But they're going to be good at basketball. You just watch. Cross is going to be good at basketball.
These coaches coming in over there.
We know the girls are going to be good, and now our friend Robbie, PJ Benson's over there, and they were already. Their JV was really good, and the boys are going to be good because Doc Archibald can coach, and he's got Matthew Fisher Davis on that staff. Like I don't know how much like raw talent they have, but I know they will be the best coached team in Skeeza 1A, hands down, and that'll take you a long ways, so going to be fun. All right, Wesley, it was fun, man. I always enjoy hanging out with you. Thanks so much to Bracken Lambert for jumping on to talk with us about the Sand Sharks, and to Will Cotting for talking Buford football with us. Love watching that kid play. Awesome to talk to him in person. And they'll have a great one tomorrow night. May River, if you don't have some place to be tomorrow night and you're looking for a place, you can do a lot worse than Ladies Island for May River Buford. Or you can come out to Hampton and say hi to me, but it's longer to drive. So depending on where you're coming from, I reckon. But if you don't have any place to be, check out May River Buford. That'll be fun. They'll have it streaming on Buford's Own, and they'll replay it on WHHI too. So you can stay home and watch it, I guess, if you want to. But then be sure to tune in with us. Tune in tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. lunchtime for Lowco Game Day Live. We'll get you ready for kickoff, and then after the kickoff and the final whistle and all that, we'll drive back home and get back on here and talk to you about everything that happened on Lowco Friday night on Lowco Pigskin Live. Dwight says, come to Whale Branch. Man, I ain't going to Whale Branch. That game's going to be over after a quarter. I'll go to Whale Branch when there's going to be a game to see. Not tonight. Not tomorrow night against Burt. No, thank you. That's not. Nah. It's a long haul out there, Dwight. I ain't coming out there for a blowout. I'm coming out there for a battle. I'll see you in the playoffs, son.
Yeah.
But you'll definitely see me in the playoffs. You can bet on that. But you'll see me at some point, no doubt. Seabrook's my favorite. One of my favorite places to be on Lowco Friday night. So, all right. Well, we'll holler at y'all later. I got an early morning tomorrow, and we got a long night, late night tomorrow night. So, all right. Coach says he respects Burke, and I appreciate that. But y'all gonna take care of him. I don't have to. You can respect them. I respect them too. I just don't think they're as good at football as Whale Branch. I think Whale Branch is better. So that's all. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's call it a night, Wes. Thanks so much to all of our sponsors. Thanks to our guests, and thanks most of all to you for showing up to listen or watch. We'll see you tomorrow, all day long on the Lowco Network. It's Friday, baby. Until next time, I'm Justin Jarrett for Wes Kerr. Go Lowco.
The LowcoSports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.